Hello and welcome to another monthly reading for people born in May. My name is Dr. Karen and I do colour readings, amongst other things. Each month I attempt a general reading based on the colours that are selected for you, and hopefully they will give you some guidance as to how to manage some of the turmoil that occurs in everyday life. If you're new here, you're in for something that you've never experienced before. On the other hand, if you've been here before, welcome back. I'm very, very pleased to see you. I'd like to hear, though, from you in the comments section as to how well, or if not well, these readings are going for you. This month, I'm going to try something a little different, because colour readings are only as good as the questions that are being asked. So let's get into it for you, shall we? This month, I'll be taking a card from the Angel Therapy Oracle, which is made by Doreen Virtue, a famous name within the Oracle community. And for all of my May babies, if you were born in the month of May, let's begin this reading with an oracle card from the Angel Oracle. And we'll pop that under there to look at later. And now I want a colour circle and colour combination to describe what May people dealt with in 2025, how they went through January 26, and what's likely to happen for February 26. And then, of course, the underlying images. So here we have one, and it is black on purple. And now we have pink on white and white on green. And the underlying energy for all of this is purple on purple. Right, well, what you brought with you into 2026 from 2025. The purple inside means challenges, changes, disruption, all sorts of different things that you've created that have had to be destroyed and created in some other way. A constant cycle of changes. And in the real world, that has created a certain degree of, well, I could say depression, but it means more a certain degree of withdrawal, of having to rethink, reevaluate, withdraw inside yourself, looking for answers as to what to do next as a result of the changes that occur. Now, this could be that the withdrawal has initiated the changes, or that the changes themselves have created the need for that withdrawal. But either way, black and purple have left you pretty much feeling bruised. In January of this year, we went, instead of black and purple, we went almost to the other extreme, pink on white. Now, this combination is often referred to as justice. It means that things have started to come right for you because whatever choices you made back here, whatever activities you went through in order to overcome this section here in 2025, in January began to give some sort of positive rewards. Internally, there is a clarity, an enlightenment, a sudden realization that there was a different way of doing things, a different way of being, a different way of obtaining results. And in the real world, you've allowed a certain degree of vulnerability. You've probably even asked for assistance for whatever task it is that you have set for yourself. But certainly, whatever it was, it attracted towards you, because pink is always a color of attraction. It attracted towards you the sort of energy that was necessary for you to take a brand new look at what was going on and to make sure that the results were those that were favorable to you. Now, in February, this has gone to white on green. Now, the white has reversed from being an internal enlightenment into, in the real world, everything is open. Inside, there has been a change, and that change has caused an opportunity for you. You've reevaluated stuff, your mind, your heart, your entire direction, all of the things that you were heading towards have altered. And in the real world, it's like you've left the past behind and you're now heading off into a new direction. White and green together are the combination that would be classified as death. That is moving away from the past, sealing it off, putting a note underneath it saying, right, that was then, and now this is now. So there is new life, life in all sorts of different directions, because white does not give you any specific direction to go in. It opens up opportunities for everything, anywhere, anytime. Underlying all of this is purple on purple. This is a quest for spiritual guidance. It's also a quest for making things better, for improving things, for smashing stuff that needs to be smashed and recreating it into some sort of new image, some sort of new way of looking at things that will enable things to be better. In the terms of the tarot, which I sort of sometimes refer to, purple on purple is the tower. It is total destruction of what was in order to create new. Now, the interesting thing here is that when we look at these, and again, if I'm talking in terms of the tarot, of those 4 color combinations, 3 of them are major arcanas. So these were big changes that were made in your life over the last few months. And those big changes head you towards a potential for an entirely different way of doing things, an entirely different way of being. So what helps you along the way? Well, for that, we need to turn ourselves to the colors that are missing. You have white. Oops, where is it? Let's start off with, I've lost one. Now, there it is. You have black and you have white. There's no red, there's no yellow, but you do have green. There's no blue or brown or orange or grey, even though it is hidden in the black and white that we have here. You have purple, you have pink, but there is no cyan. So the colours that we have here, the ones that are operating in your life right now, are the ones that are assisting you in your current travels. But it's these ones that will give you the opportunity to head off in a direction with either more confidence or with a greater clarity than these tend to suggest. Because in the future, this February reading says that there is an openness in the real world. You can fill that with anything. So what are you going to fill it with? Let's have a look at what these mean. If you're dealing with red, red as the color most liked has to do with taking charge, being the boss, being your own leader, taking responsibility and authority for yourself. But it's also impulsivity. So what it means is if any of these things don't work, any of those color activities, those skills don't work, then red as a light color means that your next default is simply to do something impulsive. Red, however, always offers a warning, and that warning is stop. It means be careful. You could actually overplay your hand. As a most disliked color, red has to do with frustration, with resentment, with internalized and repressed anger and rage. Here is a person who doesn't want to acknowledge their own feelings, particularly those feelings that they regard as negative feelings. Yet those are the very ones that need to be dealt with. If yellow is the color you're dealing with, yellow is your positive choice, that is the color you most like, then usually when things fail along here, you're likely to go out and learn something new. Find yourself some more information. Put on a happy face. Pretend that things are going well for you, even when they are not. As the most disliked color, yellow is all about fear and trepidation and anxiety. Are you indeed getting the sorts of responses that you want out of life? Are things moving in a way that enable you to overcome anxieties? And the answer is probably no. You are keeping those anxieties hidden. And often it's necessary for you to face them head on and then move forward from there. If the color that you're dealing with is blue, then what we have here is a color associated with organization. It's also associated with nurture. As a most liked color, blue is all about being able to get yourself organized, all of your ducks in a row, everything in its place the way that it should be. As the most disliked color, on the other hand, it's all about imprisonment. It's all about frustration in terms of inability to move in any direction. Blue, internalized as a negative color, is all about shut up, do as you're told, get on with the job, don't complain. And whether those restrictions are self-imposed or whether somebody imposes them upon you, nevertheless, as a negative color, blue always is something that you need to deal with in terms of what are your goals, how are you going to nurture you, rather than be responsible for everybody else. If brown is the color that you're dealing with, brown is all about goals and ambitions and practical skills. As a most liked color, it has to do with getting yourself organized, not just to do what you have to do, as happened back here with the blue, but this is you set yourself some goals, some ambitions that you want fulfilled, and now you need to practice the skills to obtain those skills that are necessary for you to move forward. On the other hand, if brown is the color that you least like, then what we have here is a state of procrastination. You can't get a goal set up for yourself, and what's more, you can't organize yourself to create the steps necessary in order to obtain anything that you specifically want. And so you remain in the doldrums. If the color that you're dealing with is orange, and it's the color that you most like, then you are a very social person. When all this fails, then you get out amongst it in society, you show that you are able to confront and deal with any issue that might come your way. Unfortunately, if this is the color that you dislike, then you are lacking in confidence. There's no ability to meet any form of crisis, and when a crisis does occur, you tend to run away from it. If the color that you're dealing with is grey, and grey is the color that you most like, then here is an opportunity for you to stand on the middle road. Not too hot, not too cold, not too right, not too wrong. There are a number of conflicting issues around you, and you will tread the middle path, not annoying or giving any sort of credence to anybody on either side. But it also seems to make you appear somewhat wishy-washy. On the other hand, if grey is the color that you most dislike, then here we have an issue of being able to remain completely, not just neutral, but indecisive. You can't make a decision. You're full of confusion. You don't know what to do next. And this is the issue that you need to overcome. And finally, here we have cyan. Now, if cyan is the color that you most like, then what happens when all of these issues fail you is that you then set yourself up to be in some sort of situation where absolutely nothing is moving, but you pretend that everything is fine. Cyan is the color of bliss and harmony. It's also the color of peace and quiet. And you have that in abundance, or you create that in abundance around you. If it's the color that you least like, then you are bored. Then that is the problem that you mainly need to overcome. Everything around you is stagnant, nothing's moving. If anything, your emotional state becomes quite icy and cold, as the color tends to suggest. So, which of these is the color that you most like, and which is the color that you least like? And having now heard what those positions mean for you, which ones are you going to deal with in the month of February? Let's have a look now at the Angel Oracle to see what it has to say on the subject. And for this, I'll need my glasses, otherwise I can't read it. Well, what it says is integrity. Align your actions so that they match your values and inner knowledges of what's right for you. Aligning your actions so that they meet with integrity. Integrity is what we find with white, but also with purple and green. Green are your values. White is the opportunity to put those into the real world in a really honest way. That's your challenge for February. All right then. It's been a slightly different way of dealing with the color reading. But as I said, it's all about the questions that are asked, which brings me to an offer that I made some time ago, and no one's taken me up on it, which is, if you would like a personal color reading with me, be prepared for some surprises, then please contact me through my email address that I'll leave in the description below this video. I'm not charging for it, and I will take the first 10 people that bother to apply, and they will get a free color reading. It's up to you to decide whether or not you want to comment on it. It'll certainly be private. I will record them, and I will allow you, as the only person to see them, to let me know what you think. Until we meet again next month for another set of color readings, and I might change the system again, depending on the questions I want to ask. May the colors that you choose help guide you to where you need to be, as well as where you'd like to be. Until then, bye.